In the desert city of Calabar, nestled between endless dunes and an oasis shimmering under the sun, life seemed peaceful. The city thrived as a hub of trade, where merchants from distant lands exchanged spices, silks, and precious metals. Yet, beneath the bustling facade of prosperity lay a society grappling with growing inequality, corruption, and the unchecked power of a few wealthy elites. Amid this, two brothers, Rami and Zaid, tended to their modest date farm on the city's outskirts. Their late father, Harith, had instilled in them values of hard work and unwavering faith in Allah. The farm was their livelihood, a gift passed through generations and a symbol of their family's resilience. One fateful day, as Rami and Zaid worked under the scorching sun, a caravan of luxurious carriages arrived. Out stepped Jabir al-Malik, a wealthy merchant whose name was both revered and feared in Calabar. Jabir was a man of ambition, and his business empire had expanded rapidly over the years, often through dubious means. Jabir approached the brothers with a proposition. "Sell me your land," he said, his voice smooth but commanding. "I will pay handsomely, and you can live comfortably without toil." Rami, the elder of the two, replied firmly, "This land is not for sale. It is our father's legacy and our means of sustenance. We do not wish to part with it." Jabir's expression darkened. "Think carefully," he warned. "A refusal today may cost you dearly tomorrow." Unshaken, the brothers stood their ground, but a sense of unease lingered after Jabir's departure. Days later, soldiers from the city's governing council arrived unannounced. They carried a decree bearing the council's seal, declaring that Jabir al-Malik was now the rightful owner of the farm. The brothers were accused of defaulting on an imaginary debt, and the soldiers forcibly evicted them. Rami and Zaid were devastated. They turned to the council, but their pleas fell on deaf ears. Jabir's influence ran deep, and his wealth silenced any opposition. The brothers sought refuge with a kind-hearted neighbor, Amina, an elderly widow who had known their family for years. "Have faith in Allah," she urged them. "Justice will prevail, but you must be brave." Determined to fight for their rights, the brothers approached Layla, a young and brilliant scribe who was known for helping the oppressed. Layla lived a simple life in the heart of Calabar, spending her days studying Islamic law and assisting those in need. When Rami and Zaid shared their plight, she listened carefully. "This is not just about your land," Layla said. "It's about standing against oppression. Allah commands us to uphold justice. Together, we will seek the truth." Layla's investigation began. She delved into old records, interviewed witnesses, and pieced together Jabir's schemes. Along the way, she discovered a disturbing pattern. Jabir had used similar tactics to seize properties from several other families, leaving them destitute. One night, as Layla walked home through the dimly lit streets, she was confronted by two of Jabir's men. "Drop this case," one of them growled, "or you'll regret it." Layla's heart raced, but her faith gave her strength. "Do what you must," she replied, "but I will not abandon the truth." Undeterred, Layla met with Sheikh Hassan, the city's Qadi, and presented her findings. Sheikh Hassan, a man of deep faith and integrity, was troubled by the evidence. He summoned Jabir al-Malik to a public hearing, setting the stage for a confrontation that would test the very fabric of Calabar's society. The city square overflowed with people on the day of the hearing. Merchants, farmers, and laborers gathered to witness the proceedings. Sheikh Hassan opened with a recitation. "O you who have believed, Be persistently standing firm in justice, witnesses for Allah, even if it be against yourselves or parents and relatives. Surah An-Nisa 4:135. Jabir arrived, flanked by his lawyers and guards. He presented forged documents, claiming ownership of the brothers' land. The brothers, with Layla by their side, countered with their evidence. Witnesses stepped forward, including an elderly clerk who admitted that Jabir had bribed him to falsify records. As the hearing unfolded, the crowd began to see the depth of Jabir's corruption. More victims came forward, emboldened by the brothers' courage. They revealed how Jabir had manipulated contracts, intimidated rivals, and exploited the city's poor. After hours of deliberation, Sheikh Hassan pronounced his judgment. Jabir was found guilty of fraud, and all his ill-gotten properties were returned to their rightful owners. He was ordered to compensate his victims and was banned from conducting business in Calabar. The Qadi concluded with a powerful reminder: justice belongs to Allah. Those who betray it will face him on the day of judgment. The crowd erupted in applause, celebrating not just the brothers' victory, but the restoration of justice in their city. Rami and Zaid returned to their farm, which became a symbol of hope and resilience. They expanded their operations, using their earnings to support others in need. Layla continued her work as an advocate for the oppressed, inspiring a new generation to stand against injustice. Calabar itself changed. Inspired by the case, the people established a council to protect the rights of the vulnerable and to ensure that justice prevailed. Sheikh Hassan's wisdom and Layla's courage became legendary, a story recounted in the mosques and marketplaces of Calabar. Years later, travelers to Calabar marveled at its fairness and harmony. They asked how such a transformation came to be, and the story of Rami, Zaid, Layla, and Sheikh Hassan was told. A story of faith, courage, and the enduring power of justice in Islam. And so, the story of Calabar reminds us of a timeless truth. Justice is not a privilege for the few. It is the right of all and the duty of every believer. Injustice may prevail for a moment, but truth and faith will always outlast it. Remember the words of the Prophet Muhammad, PBUH. The most beloved of deeds to Allah is to bring justice and benefit to others. Will you stand for justice in your life, no matter the cost? The choice is yours.